Hey guys, and welcome back to Castle Crush, and today we are going to be playing another all legendary cards deck, this time with Giant Growth and Mana Ritual as our two extra cards. It's a little bit disappointing with all legendary decks just because there's only room for two extra supplementary cards, so it's kind of like, well, there aren't that many variations of that strategy I can really do, and I tried it in some other game modes too, but like it doesn't work in all-in. It just gets crushed in all-in because the lower mana legendaries are just not really good value in all-in, especially ones like Phoenix, for example, just not really good value in all-in. Phoenix and Skull Queen, especially Skull Queen without skeletons, is not a good value. It's not a good value in any of the game modes. But especially not in all-in. So, in ranked matches, though, you can kind of make the strategy work. I was a little lucky because my trophies were pretty low, but it was also kind of unfortunate because it kept meaning I kept getting lower leveled opponents over and over and over. But yeah, Giant Storm Elemental to start this one off. And we do pick up this win. It is possible to get wins with this deck in ranked mode. It works okay. It's not the best ever. I think the other thing that kind of forces my hand in the strategy department is that if I don't play at least one mana ritual, I just personally, this might just be me, but I personally feel like I can just never really get the dragon out, and it just is kind of a wasted card. Maybe that's not entirely true. Maybe I just need to be more patient with it. But I rely so heavily on the dragon with this deck. I really feel like it's the card that wins matches for me with this deck. And if I don't have at least one mana ritual, I just can't get there within a reasonable amount of time. And makes the matches really, really hard. So as you'll see in this match, dragon comes up very, very important. But it's hard to get to the dragon without a mana ritual. So, thought this match was going to work out well, but I guess even Giant Growth on Dark Angel doesn't take out a Mud Elemental, sadly. This opponent was 2 levels lower than me, but they actually had some high-leveled cards. Like, the ones they had were pretty good levels. And as it turned out, their dragon, I believe, was level 4, whereas mine's only level 2. So they had a bigger advantage than it looked like. And yeah, we each had level 3 Archer Queens. And I seem to be in a good spot to start this match off with. But I made a couple mistakes as things went on. Looked like I should have really been able to wrap this match up. I'm definitely in a good position here. Definitely in a good position. And how do they turn this one back around? They do it with Meteor. That is what they do. And I still seem to have control, but their dragons were also really difficult. As you can see, level 4 dragon, so I was actually out-leveled. And yeah, good plays by them. They honestly made some good plays here. That was kind of a stupid Black Witch. Not gonna lie, it was a very stupid Black Witch. Probably one of the dumber moves I made in this match. Because then they heal the dragon back to full health. I do draw Vampire, so I get right on top of that. You can see, look at that dragon though. Look how much damage that dragon did in that top lane. I had a good stack going. That level 4 dragon completely decimated what I had going. It was, that level difference was huge on that particular card. And now it looks like I might be about to lose this match. And they get another level 4 dragon out. I'm like, oh no. So I got a very nice Black Witch in the bottom lane going into the Phoenix. That was huge, huge. And then they kind of just spend a Black Witch on not much. And I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I look done. Absolutely toast. I still do have the Valkyrie out though, so I waited for the dragon, knowing it was the only way I was going to probably be able to rebuild any stack that I had. And I managed to flip the Hollow Knight. I saved the bottom lane. And now it's all just down to that mud elemental, but I have nothing to counter it with. Nothing to counter that mud elemental with. And it's going to overtime, so I really need to save my castle health. I do finally get the vampire. The health was so close, so I was afraid of what was going to happen here if they managed to stop the vampire. I have to go for Black Witch. Oh my gosh, the health is so close. This gets really tight. I can play the dragon. It can delay that top lane long enough, but what if the Archer Queen hits my castle? I need to block, but oh, it was so close. It came down to just barely the Archer Queen not having enough time. That was an insane match. So close. Oof. So, I do like some of the cards within this deck, though. They have very powerful abilities, but there's always these times where it's just like right here where it's like, I didn't really want to use a vampire, but I didn't really have a particularly optimal card in my deck to use either. I guess the Skull Queen would have been good, but the Skull Queen is so, it feels like a waste of a card in this deck without any skeletons. It's like, what am I even doing with this deck? But yeah, and then it's like, well, what are we gonna do here? And you can see how strongly this deck ends up relying on the dragon, because the dragon's good at countering a lot of different things, and therefore it allows me to kind of get out of a lot of situations where my strategy is just otherwise bad, and it kind of allows me to just kind of make up for having a bad strategy, because the dragon is just so powerful and versatile that once you can get it out there, it can handle a lot of, players who maybe don't have as good of a strategy either. So sometimes the dragon is the strategy, and that's okay. Yep, getting these dragons out. I think my opponent knew at this point that I had them on the ropes here. And with the Valkyrie out, I could just play whatever I wanted. This is the annoying thing about having Black Witches if you're playing all three lanes like this, is that then sometimes you can't really get them out there. So yeah, I thought about this and I was like, yeah, I can get rid of the Black Witches if I just put them in the bottom lane. And then, since I have the Valkyries out, I can basically just keep drawing and getting cards for free to play for free, and that is the thing to do. Good game, though. Finally was able to get another win there. I don't really like starting with the Storm Elemental, but sometimes I feel like I have to start with it, because just not a lot of great starting cards in this deck other than maybe Hollow Knight with like Phoenix. So, or Shaman. Actually, Shaman's probably my favorite starting card with this deck, but I do need to use Mana Ritual to get there often. I like Shaman for starting because they don't know where it is, so they can waste some cards trying to figure out where it is. And at the start of the game, they don't have troops in other lanes to tell them where it is, so it's like, well, and if it gets their castle and they don't know where it is, then it'll just start doing damage. So, and it gives me good positioning to play other cards, so it's a good card to start with from that perspective. This match getting intense. The Valk is definitely a key card to get out there, because then I can just start spamming my cards, which sometimes can just win even without a real strategy. So I pretty much decide here I'm going to go for the dragon. It's definitely the key card, so let's get it out there and try to flip that Hollow Knight. But didn't quite work. So I decided to go for the vampire. Pretty smart move there, I think. And that ends up paying off. And now I just need to figure out, I guess I'm going to go for another dragon. Yes. And this should hopefully end this match. Hopefully. And I think we finally got this. Oh, but they come in with the Black Witch. But I think we've got it. But regardless, good game. Good game. They had me on the ropes briefly. But we had some nice matches with this deck. I thought we had some nice matches. It's always a little bit challenging just because, well, Skull Queen doesn't belong in this deck. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments and what other types of content I should create. Maybe subscribe if you're new to my channel. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos.